If you somehow found this channel within the last week, hi, welcome. My name is Anu. I'm the engineer who left Google to join Palantir, and apparently that decision has made a lot of people on X really feel like, okay, what's happening? Why did she even do that? So I thought that in this video, let me walk you through my decision. And I have seen all the takes. Some people are saying she's naive, some people are saying she's downgraded, some people are saying she upgraded, and like some people think it's a big career move that I made. So I know that everyone will have their opinions, but I wanted you to hear from me. In this video, I'm breaking down the real difference about being a software engineer and a forward deployed engineer. And no, it's not the LinkedIn version, it's the real honest truth. Neither is it the recruiter version. I'm not here to sell you a job about what a forward deployed engineer is or what a software engineer is. You should totally do you. But I want to talk about the actual day to day, the actual salary change, and honestly like why I made the switch. So okay, first, I have seen a lot of confused comments. Let me explain what a forward deployed engineer actually is, because most people have no idea. So a traditional software engineer builds the product. You're on a team, you have a features, you're optimizing for scale. It's great. I loved it when I was working as a software engineer. But as a forward deployed engineer or FDE, it's completely different. You are embedded directly with the customers, and they are like enterprise customers. They're customers that make billions of dollars. You take an existing platform and you are deploying it. You're customizing it for the user. And you have to be doing it in real time, and you are going to be on site while you're doing it. So think of it like a software engineer builds the hammer. A forward deployed engineer goes to the job site, figures out exactly what needs nailing, and then like gets it done. So at my current job specifically, forward deployed engineers work directly with enterprise clients, and you're not in a sprint planning meeting. Honestly, like some of the stuff that we do, including the planning and stuff, is literally on Figma, because we don't have any random way of doing it. We don't have a proper way of doing it. We don't have Jira tickets and all of that. We're literally random. We work like a small group. We work like a startup that is supposed to get this done and in this time, and we have to do it because we have like strict deadlines right from the customers themselves. What I really like is that you are in the room where decisions do get made, and I did not have that previous. So if I talk about how my day-to-day work has changed as a software engineer at Google, there were structured sprints, there was clear timelines, there was a defined scope, there was a deep focus work period as well. Like I used to have blocks where I could like just go and do uninterrupted coding. I did not have a lot of meetings. Then there were reviews, there were stand-ups, then there was roadmap planning, and are like really shielded from the customer because the product managers are the ones that handle that. They go into customer calls, they figure out what the customer really wants, and the work is largely async. So you have complete control over your calendar, you can organize stuff. But as a forward deployed engineer, all of that has changed. And every day is different. So like seriously, every single day is different. Our goals change every time. You are the one in the room with the client, you're solving life problems, you're whiteboarding, and there's less time writing code from scratch because most of it is already written, but there's more time building fast and adapting existing tools and technologies. Sometimes the communication is like 80% of the job on some days, and you need to understand the customer's business and not just the tech stack. You have to move fast because there's nothing like, okay, we'll put that for the next sprint. There's nothing like that. If something needs to be solved ASAP, it needs to be done by today. So the honest truth is that as a SWE, I felt like I was really good at one thing, and as a forward deployed engineer, I get to be pretty good at a lot of things, whether it's technical, whether it's communication, whether it's problem solving, or it's the business context as well. So some people would hate that, but that's really what it comes down to. As if you have seen my videos on the skills that the engineer needs in 2026, this is basically the job description for that. I talked about how you need to have communication skills, how you need to understand the business context and all of that. All of that I get to do in this job, and I think that's pretty awesome. Okay, so the question that everyone came here for, the salary, right? So I'm not going to give you my exact numbers, and I generally don't think like that's the most useful thing. What I will tell you is the structure, because that matters more than the specific figures, is what I believe. At Google as a software engineer, the compensation really structure is well known. All of you might already see a lot of posts about it on LeetCode as well. So you've got a competitive base, you've got RSUs that like vest over 4 years, and you get a good bonus as well. It's stable, it's predictable, and honestly it's very good. Like for a person living in India, it's very, very good. And as a forward deployed engineer, this is like publicly documented as well on levels.fyi. But also, like, the salary that I particularly got is a lot. If definitely I did profit on the move that I made. And FDs do tend to earn more in total comp than equivalent level SWEs at most big tech companies. Like the median FD salary at current would be like $200K total comp is like pretty achievable. So some roles go significantly higher depending on level and location as well. So, but here's what like nobody really talks about. The type of comp changes. Like more of it is tied to performance and equity, and the growth trajectory is like steeper. Like if you're good at this role, you will like move fast. And what I really feel is that at most of these big tech companies, it's generally like your promotion really just boils down to how much time you've spent, whereas in these companies it just like boils down to how good you are at your job. And I think like that's a huge difference. So did I take a pay cut? No, obviously not. But did I get a massive raise? Well, I'll put it this way, that I'm quite happy about it. So, but I want to be really clear, I didn't make this switch for the money. I made it because I wanted to grow differently. And I see that already in the past 4 to 5 months that I've been here. I think the financial upside was definitely a bonus, but it was not the reason. So, is there anything that I really miss about this role, or I don't like miss about being a SWE? So what I genuinely miss about being a SWE was definitely the deep work and the long interrupted blocks where I had like no meetings. So I think that was something really good. And if you're building something, if you actually have work to do, that's a great way to like just focus and do things. And there was a lot of safety as well. Like I knew that if I'm working on this feature, I will be working on it for the next 1 month, 2 months. Yeah, I think predictability is also one thing which was there a lot. Like, at Google, like Google runs like a machine, and that's actually really nice. But what I do not miss is that feeling like 2 steps removed from the real world impact. Like, I remember the team that I was working with had customers which were like, I can't really name the customers, but they had like big enterprise customers, and I never really got to talk to any of them. Like, I did not know that the feature that I'm working on, like I knew that there was a demand from leadership to work on that feature, but it was really honestly like why we were really doing this, what was the business context, what was the dollar value, I did not know all of that. And I like there was a lot of waiting, like you had to wait for months to see what you built actually mattered or not. And there's also a lot of bureaucracy at these large org things. So there's a lot of the decisions involve a lot of bureaucracy, and nothing really moves fast. And what surprised me about being a forward deployed engineer is like how much I grew technically, because honestly, like the most of the misconception that people have is that this role is not very technical. But ever since I have been there, I'm making decisions about quality, about LLMs, about cost, about tokens, about scaling, all of these things, which I honestly did not expect that I would get. I'm really surprised about how much I use non-technical skills. Like so much of my job is about psychology, about communication, about really understanding how people are, what they really care about. And I think being a forward deployed engineer, you really learn to talk people in terms of leverage. So let's say like if I'm talking to a GM, they would care about things differently than talking to a specialized engineer, or they would think about things differently than someone who is probably, let's say, from the accounting team or the finance team. And the access you get to these people is enormous. Like I can literally be sitting in a room with a person who handles like 500 to 600 million dollars. So that kind of thing is something which you don't get as a software engineer. And your work is like really, really visible. Like the customers are seeing. I remember that I was in a session once where the customer did not understand something and I had to debug it, and I was like, damn, if I fail right now at this debugging, it's going to be really embarrassing because these guys are paying us. There's also an upside to that. Like if you do something great, they'll walk over your desk and they'll look at the thing that you have done and they'll be like, wow, this is amazing. So your work is like, the visibility is not something that you have to work for. Visibility just exists. It just happens. So is it for everyone? Absolutely not. If you love like deep specialization, or if you love working on projects which is like predictable and like if you like working on like one thing really, really well, then that's a SWE. And that's a brilliant career path. I have seen engineers who have been in like big tech for very long and they're amazing. They're like really, really solid engineers. But if you're someone who gets bored easily, or you want to see impact fast, and you love the energy of working directly with real problems, FD might be the move for you. So should you make the switch? Well, it depends a lot, right? You might be a good fit for FD if you generally enjoy talking to people, like not just like tolerating it. I will agree that sometimes that's what I do, but you have to actually enjoy most of the times the job that you're doing. And you should be able to context switch really, really fast. And I think like being someone who is like borderline ADHD, I think it really helps that I'm in this job, because I know for a fact that if I get bored with something, tomorrow I'll be working on something else. So I think that's really nice. And if you like solving problems that don't have a clean answer, because in real world there are rarely any clean answers, then this job might be for you. And for this job, I think having like some years of experience working as a SWE might be better, because then you get to really learn the trade craft of like how engineers really work, and then you can actually go and be able to like talk to customers, but at the same time you're not someone who doesn't understand the engineering aspect at all. So I think having a healthy mix of SWE experience along with forward deployed engineer is the right way to go. So you should probably stay a SWE if you like only and only love coding, or you really like being really, really technical, like you probably like working on infra or systems. So then that job is for you. And if you like a very structured environment and you like client facing work, sounds like a consultant or a nightmare, or maybe you're early in your career and you're still building your core technical skills, then you should probably start off as a software engineer. The FD path is not a promotion from SWE, or it's not like, wow, okay, this is not like, it's pay raise is definitely there, but it's like you can get the same if you are a software engineer as well. It's just a different job. It's a completely different vertical, I would say. So a lateral move with a different growth curve, and don't do it because you think it sounds impressive or it sounds cool. Do it because the actual day-to-day sounds like something you would love. I hope this video helped you get an honest summary of what this job is like, how it differs from a software engineer. Let's just say that I made the choice that was right for where I want to go, and the internet had a lot of opinions about that. But that's okay. I have already made decisions based on what I want to build, not what looks safest on a LinkedIn profile. If you found this useful, make sure you subscribe. I talk about real career decisions, real engineering, and the actual trade-off of working in tech in 2026. There's no motivational fluff, just what I know. And if you want the video on how I actually got this forward deployed engineer role, comment below and I'll make it soon. And yeah, I hope I'll see you in my next one. Until then, bye bye.